What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Lafleur from Late Start Piano. Today, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of positive energy for those of you who feel like you have started piano too late in life. So that's what this whole channel is. That's why I created Late Start Piano, is to help people like you, adults, who feel like they started to learn piano way too late, or maybe they feel like they can't learn piano because they're too old and they missed their boat, quote unquote, and it's just impossible for them to learn now because they are 25, 35, 55, 75, whatever it is. So that's what this whole channel is about, to help you get over that mental hump, and of course to give you those practice strategies as well so that you can actually improve. But today we're going to be specifically talking about more of the mental side, why right now is the best time for you to learn the piano. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Point number one is you need to realize every day you are getting older. If you've ever read any kind of Stoicism, maybe Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, or The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, or any other Stoicism for that matter, one of the big points that they emphasize is that we all have a limited time on Earth. We all have a limited time, and it's like an hourglass, and there are literally grains of sand dripping out of that hourglass towards the bottom. And once you run out, that's it. And I'm bringing all that up to say, because you don't want to keep procrastinating on doing something that you know you want to do, because you don't know if you're going to be around to actually do it. So for example, if you, let's say, were 15, let's say go back, let's say if you're older than that, now you're 15, or let's say you're older than 15, but we'll go back to when you were 15, and you said, okay, I want to play piano, but I'm in school right now, I'm playing sports, I'll do it later. Then you were 18 or 20, and you said, well, I'm in college right now, I have to finish up my studies, I'll learn the piano after college. Then you were 25, you're 30. You said, well, I want to learn the piano, but I'm working a full-time job. Then maybe you were 35 and you said, well, I want to learn the piano, but now I'm married and I have 2 kids. So I'll do it later. And you can see how time gets added so easily without us even realizing it. That's a 20-year gap. And I know a lot of you, that's probably what actually happened to you, something very similar to that, if not that exact same thing. Now you're 45, 55, or older, and you never learned how to play. And now is the best time because we don't know what time we have left. Even if you're 18, if you're 18 years old, you don't have any time that's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. I'm sure you've heard about kids younger than you who had passed away. I'm sure you've heard about people who seemed super healthy and they were in great shape. They worked out every day. They were 22 years old and then they passed away for whatever reason. It happens. None of us are guaranteed any more time in life. So that's one reason why right now is the best time to start piano. Right now, not later, not tomorrow, not a year from now, right now. And you can do that by ordering a piano if you don't have one already, or go sit down, don't even watch the end of the video. Turn this off, go sit down at the piano and just start. Start to learn, and then you can build that habit over time to be consistently practicing. Point number two is this concept of compound interest. So I believe it was Albert Einstein who made this quote famous. He said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, right? And compound interest in the finance world basically means you put money in, you invest money, and over time you get dividends, you get interest back, and 20 years later you have way more gains than what you put in, right? So that's basically what compound interest is. You put in $100 today, and then 20 years from now it goes up to 100,000 or whatever it is. That compound interest is the same thing for piano. If you start to practice today, right now, and you do so consistently, you continue to invest. In other words, you continue to actually practice. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you're going to be at a level 100,000. You're going to be at a much higher level on the piano because your interest is compounding. And your interest in terms of playing the piano is your time spent practicing. So even though we're not in the financial world, we're not using compound interest talking about money, we can take that same concept and apply it to learning the piano. because it's the same thing. Whatever you invest, you're going to get more on the back end. It just takes time. Same exact concept. So you want to use compound interest for you in your favor, which is another reason why starting right now is the best time, because you can't go back in time. You can't go back in time and start your compound interest 20 years ago. It's not how it works. It's not possible. You can't go in the future and gain your compound interest. You can't do that. The only thing you have right now is the present, which is why today can be your day one of compound interest. This can be your day one right now. So that's point number 2 of why right now is the best time for you to start learning the piano. Point number 3 is, okay, maybe you understand what I'm saying. This all makes sense. You feel good. But maybe there's still a part of you that feels like you kind of missed your chance. You maybe have some regret in your life. Maybe you feel kind of sad even that you did not start playing earlier, whatever it is. Maybe that's you. This point number 3 is explaining to you, you did not start before because it wasn't the best time. So all those reasons I talked about earlier, you were in school, you had a wife and kids, you were in college trying to finish up your exam, you are working on your career. All of those reasons are completely valid. I'm not discrediting that at all. Those are completely valid reasons for you to not start learning the piano. And you did not start learning the piano because it wasn't the right time for you. Right? It wasn't the right time for you to start learning back then, so you didn't. The choice was made. You had to pick between 2 different things, or maybe 4 different things if your life had a lot going on back then, and you made the decision that you felt was best, and there's nothing wrong with that. You did what you had to do. You got through the job, you got through school, you raised your kids, whatever it is. That's great. That's perfect. Now that that's over, now you can have the time to actually learn the piano and get to where you want to go. So right now is the best time. If this message is really resonating with you, that should be a sign that right now is the best time for you. So don't beat yourself up. Don't kick yourself around because you didn't start learning earlier. You couldn't start learning earlier. So now you're here and you can just make best use of the time that you have right now. Point number 4 of why now is the best time to learn is because there are more resources than ever. So say you are in that older group I had mentioned, maybe you're 45, 55, 65, and you wanted to play when you were 20 or 25, but you couldn't. So let's say 30, 40 years ago, there weren't nearly as much resources back then as there is today. So today, I mean, you have YouTube, which is super popular. Obviously, it's so much information. You have Google. You can have AI tools like ChatGPT. You have people's courses you can buy. You have lessons you can take over Zoom. You don't even have to go in person anymore. You can take lessons literally in your house. There's so many resources to you, plenty of different books. And again, just the internet in general has given people so much information that it's insane. At times, it's even too much information. So maybe you didn't start before because you felt like you didn't have the resources. There wasn't enough out there for you to actually learn. Well, now that's not an issue. If you're watching this in 2025 or after, you have plenty of resources, plenty of knowledge out there for you to start learning the piano right now. And really, that is all the points why right now is the best time to learn. So with all that said, if you agree with me, again, you can just turn this video off and go start practicing. If you are here till the end, then I do want to tell you about my free guide that I have on my website. It has 34 essential tips for the adult beginner piano player. So if I was just describing you in this entire video, you should definitely go get this. It's on www.latestartpiano.com. 34 essential tips. We cover mindset and approach. We cover practice strategies. We talk about music theory. And at the end, we're going to walk you through your first song. This guide is going to help you save a lot of time off your playing because I'm going to help you avoid a lot of pitfalls that I made in my first year of playing the piano. In addition, if you want to go even further, I am offering lessons right now via Zoom. If you are interested in that, my email will be below, latestartpiano@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and we'll set up a day and a time that works best for you. Happy practicing. My name is Josh with Late Start Piano.